Today we are working on the controls for our Barbie scooter. They're all located in our three-wheeled Harley right now. So we got to take the throttle, the voltage indicator, and our on-off switch from here. And then we can also mount our brake master cylinder. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Almost Engineering. It is a very nice day at the farm. Obviously it's overcast, but it's like 35 degrees. So I'm walking around in a hoodie. I'm just so much more comfortable. So we have a part to pick up. Another front wheel. Hopefully this one fits. Look at these brackets I got. Honestly, might be used to secure the battery a little bit better. Got a ton of them. Get these lights on, get a fire started, get all the tools ready. I just want to thank you guys for the support you guys have been showing me in the comment section. You know, you guys keep talking about how sick this build is and how you can't wait to see it driving. I'm honestly a little bit terrified to drive this thing because, you know, it has no suspension, it's ridiculously overpowered, and it's a kid's toy. So I've built two Power Wheels and now this thing, which is a Barbie scooter. One Power Wheels has a Kawasaki KFX 450 engine in it, and it's got full suspension and is absolutely sick. It is dangerous, but it's well built and it's really freaking cool. My other Power Wheels I built is just a Predator 212, and I built it for my nephew. It's a little bit lower quality and the suspension is definitely not as good, but that kind of jankiness makes it fun to drive. We've got a new front tire. Hopefully this one fits and works and solves all of our problems. Pay no attention to those. Oh my god, that is so extra. What is the point of that huge box just to have this small box? It is very important that we upgrade this front wheel. The more I think about driving this, the more I know it needs a front wheel to be upgraded. That's like a child's bicycle wheel, so there's no way on earth that I don't get hurt riding it with that. Okay, we got an axle here. Miscellaneous random parts that get sent with the wheel for some reason. Very nice. It's only like 3 inches. And this axle is massive. 6.5. So it's gonna leave like 3 inches on either side. They really do not think this stuff through. Okay. An itty bitty little chain. Bunch of master links for it, that's nice. A lot of master links. Small brake pads. Why are they sending chain tools? I don't know why they sent a chain tool with this. Oh, a little chain tensioner that can be used for something. Oh, and that's a spring for the chain tensioner. Nice. I will use that in a future project. Okay, I'm already running behind this morning, so let's lock in and get these parts. See, the beauty of working on stuff that you've worked on before is you know how you assembled them, and generally I assemble stuff with loose bolts and zip ties. Never really use anti-lock unless it's something that's gonna vibrate loose like that. All of this can be cut apart and probably put back together in 15-20 minutes if I want to ride this thing again, which I will once the snow melts. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Trick is to not cut any wires while doing it. Gonna need some Allen keys under here, which are terrible. I think one of the main reasons I don't like Allen keys is I don't have a good set of them. I have a bunch of odds and end ones, so I need to sort through them every single time I want to use it. And they're also like just small and like this. Like I need to invest in like an actual good set of Allen keys, and I won't have such a divine hatred for them. But until then, I will hate Allen keys. Too big. Ooh, number 2. Luck is changing for me. We will take the wiring stuff over and do the wiring another day. What is wrong with this guy? He's building a motorcycle. Is he gonna use a thumb throttle like a psychopath? Yes, yes I am. You like how I did that throttle? Look at that. Just welded a tube on the side of here because this plunges out when you press on the gas pedal, and then this takes the place of your thumb. Gotta say, I did that in like 20 minutes, so pretty smart if you ask me. And it's my YouTube channel, so you do ask me. So I am right-handed, so the thumb throttle is definitely gonna go on the right side. First, I think we're gonna put the voltage indicator on. Oh no, another Allen key. And let me guess. It's different sized. Why wouldn't it be? See, this is the thing that drives me crazy. It almost fits in there. It's literally like almost exactly the right size. So annoying. Let's do the on-off switch and mode selector on the other side. No way. Oh, come on. I broke that? But it works enough for now, I think. Wow, it sits there perfectly. All right, let's get this brake master cylinder on here. Now, I don't want to disconnect this brake caliper because it's been hard to bleed these brakes. But if I need to, because this banjo bolt is the wrong way around, then I will. I think I'm gonna need to crack it. This banjo bolt is like gonna get in the way. It needs to be turned inward, which it won't be able to do. It'll need to pivot all the way up and around. Took a chunk out of my thumb, per usual. Hopefully I don't need to really re-bleed these brakes too much. Let's see if this brake line is gonna make it to the back. Get the line coming down, the blue one, underneath, to the back. If we crack this, rotate it around, I think it should fit. So one video is definitely gonna be dedicated this week to probably making the mounts of this brake pads. You gotta make sure that these work really good for obvious reasons. Okay, we have our throttle, our voltage, on-off switch, and our brake master cylinder all mounted up there. It was not that difficult. And so now we have a little bit of time to worry about this front wheel. This is gonna probably take more than one video to do this. So we got that stuff out of the way. We're gonna move on to working on the front wheel now. So this is the new wheel we got, and I wanna fit it on here. Obviously it's much bigger than our old 12.5-inch rim. And when I do that, I wanna make sure that our ride height stays the same, right? We don't wanna be leaning too far back now or too far forward still. So I propped the whole bike up on blocks, and I made it so that the bottom of this rear wheel is flat with the top of the table. That way, when we build out these front forks, so the front wheel sits like that, we will maintain the ride height that we need. Let's see what modifications we're gonna need to do these forks to get this wheel to fit. Obviously they need to be lengthened, but I'm not sure even about the ends, if we need to cut these off and make different fabricated parts to actually hold this wheel and axle, which at this point I'm kind of guessing we'll have to do. What we really got got to think about is we want these forks to come down on the same angle, right? If we don't mount this wheel in line with this imaginary axis going down, if we mount it like this, that changes our rake and caster angle. It surprisingly does not look goofy. I think the fact that we have all this extra steel, this tire is bigger, this one up front being a little bit bigger does not look goofy. Obviously, it's kind of distracting with all this wood and wire and stuff like that. Especially when we add the battery, I don't think this will look too weird. That stuff smells terrible. Oh my God. I would love to be able to fit 1-inch tube inside of this. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Damn. That is so far off, it's not even funny. My brain has done its thinking. We've regrouped and come to the decision. What I'm gonna do is, I have this 1-inch tube, right? The problem is it doesn't fit in this side and this wall is very thin. So if I hollow this out, then even with the sleeve inside of it, it just could very easily bust out and not be a strong connection. What I will do is shave this down. I'm gonna take an angle grinder to it. That way it can slide in maybe an inch or so. We can weld around it. And then over top of this, the 1.25-inch tube, this guy will slide over top of this one, and then we'll weld that as well. It should make for a strong connection. It should make for strong forks. Again, this is not suspension. None of this is moving. It's gonna be rigid, so I think it'll be okay. For the bottom piece, because we can't use this, it won't fit with the new axle, we will design a new piece that slots in here and welds in with a plasma cutter probably tomorrow, but let's just angle grind this down, make it fit in there, and get a good proof of concept. Just finished grinding down these pieces. You can see they're a little bit tapered, which is actually good. It's not like I planned for them that way, but that means as they go in there, it gets wedged up in stronger. And these two pieces are gonna act as nice anchors for adding this 1.25-inch tube over the top, which will lengthen our forks and give us the ability to put that bigger wheel in there. It's pretty rare that I actually get what I was planning to do done for the day, so I'm happy that we've got all the controls figured out. They all sit on there pretty nice, and we actually got a lot done on the front forks. So tomorrow we should be able to finish those up, get our new big wheel mounted. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.